welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about Dermastamping and Dermarolling and the difference between the two and what the benefits are and what we recommend. Okay, so to start off, if you have no idea what either of these are, Dermastamping and Dermarolling, basically they're devices that have these tiny little microneedles on them. If you've heard of like microblading or things like that. Microneedling. Yeah, microneedling. So basically the little needles create abrasions on your face, and then that signifies your body to produce more collagen in those spots. So essentially it's just an anti-aging technique because you do this over your wrinkles and fine lines, and it's meant to just the collagen to fill the fine lines. Yeah, and so technically it's an all-natural way to like prevent anti-aging, because even though you're using a device, it's still like you're not using any harsh chemicals or anything. So I feel like that's why it became really popular, because it is a natural way to get rid of fine lines. Yeah, I mean, it has its advantages and disadvantages. Like, I think some people would be like, I don't really want to create abrasions on my face, because abrasions can also cause aging if you do this too often. But we're going to talk about how often you should do both of these and just kind of like what we prefer. And obviously we're not professional estheticians or doctors or anything, so this is just what we learned through a lot of research and then also just trial and error. So first up is the Dermarolling device, and this we bought on Derm Store for how much? $20. So, I mean, this will last you a while. So, well, technically you're supposed, oh, that's another thing. Technically you're supposed to replace these every couple months because the blades get dull. So that's why we went with an inexpensive roller, because the blades get dull, so you don't want to be spending a lot of money every couple months, because then it defeats the purpose. Like, you might as well go and get this done at an esthetician salon. So this is only $20, and if you only use it like every couple weeks, it can definitely last you a couple months. Yeah, so basically what you do with this, we don't use any numbing cream or anything, because the blades are only 0.25 millimeters long. So they're not going to get super deep into your skin, so it's really not going to cause really harsh abrasions. So basically you just roll this over where you have fine lines. Some people are really sensitive around their eye area, so that's kind of scary, but you can do around your eye. Yeah, I've used this around my eyes. Yeah, your forehead, if you get forehead wrinkles like we do, your laugh lines, I mean really anywhere. I don't know if you can use that on your neck. You probably can. You probably can. Just obviously be careful with all of this, but really I think the Dermarolling is better for just kind of like a quick, if you have fine lines everywhere, just kind of like a quick roll everywhere, because you don't really need to use it numbing cream, or at least we haven't. It doesn't hurt that bad. Yeah, it doesn't hurt that bad. It's really fast, and it's not gonna completely plump all your fine lines like as fast as the Dermastamp will. We'll talk about that soon, but it's just really good to gently plump them. Yeah, and it also, since it creates very tiny holes, if you put on like a retinol serum right after, it helps all your serums and lotions sink into the skin better. So I feel like that's why I like using the Dermaroller, is if I want those serums to sink in really fast and see the benefits from them more. I don't really use this to plump my fine lines and like deep wrinkles. I do think it helps with like really small lines, or even just to help prevent aging. Yeah. And to like stimulate collagen production is always a good thing. Like if you're in your early 20s, or you're just really lucky and don't really have a lot of wrinkles, I think this would be the way to go, because you don't need something as harsh as the Dermastamp. Yeah, and one thing I will say is I mean, just right off the bat, I don't like it as much as the Dermastamp, because you are rolling, like I use it on my forehead, and you're rolling across your skin. So I'm worried that it tugs the skin a little bit if the blade or the needles aren't super sharp, which after the first use, they're just not going to be as sharp. So I just worry about the tugging and like maybe making it worse. But overall, I do think it's good if you don't have that many aging issues. And one other thing with both of these, you definitely want to sanitize them after use. I usually use 90% rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle, and we'll spray them down. Always 90% or higher, because you really want to make sure that you're killing all the germs. You don't want to be putting bacteria back into your skin. It's not good. Because if you think about it, this is like going into your skin, so it's definitely pulling things out, and obviously your face is like it's gross but flooded with bacteria, and there could be dead skin in it. So you just want to make sure you sanitize and keep them clean.
That goes for pretty much any skincare device.
Always sanitize first. So yes, we prefer the Dermastamp, so now Britta's gonna kind of talk about that.
Yes, so this I got on the website, let me look, because it was definitely something I'd never used before. Skin Medics, and it was $28, so only $8 more than the Dermaroller. And these needles are 1.5 millimeters, so you obviously can't see, but they're definitely noticeably longer than on the Dermaroller, and which makes sense to me because this is very precise. You just stamp it into your skin, so you need them to be longer because what's the point in just stamping like tiny needles that aren't really going to do very much. So with this, definitely you need some Lidocaine Cream, Asper Cream I think it's called. You can find it
numbing cream.
Any numbing cream that's available at any drugstore. I got mine at Target, and I usually just use this on my forehead because I think the needles are too long to use by your eyes. That just freaks me out, and I don't really care about my crow's feet. I care more about my forehead wrinkles. So I'll put some numbing cream on before just to kind of help ease into it because it is a little bit painful like the first couple times, and I'll just stamp like across each fine line. I have like 2 pretty bad deep wrinkles on my forehead, so I'll just stamp in that, like in a vertical direction across the wrinkles. And you definitely want to like stamp in and out, like don't go too fast,
like an actual stamp.
Yeah, because then you might just like pull it out on an angle, and that's just going to cause like deep abrasions that you don't want. It's going to make your aging worse. So you have to be careful with this for sure. And I will say I bleed when I do it, and I know that sounds really scary, but it isn't. It's such a clean cut because it is just tiny needles that I'll just see like tiny dots of bleeding, and then it stops like instantly. So don't be scared. Don't like that like make you scared to try this.
And we've known people that have gotten both of them done at like an esthetician's office, and they bled too. So
yeah,
it's scary, and it's probably better if a professional is doing it on yourself, but like don't freak out or think you're doing something wrong if you do bleed.
Yeah, and it didn't really freak me out at all. I was like, okay, this is just part of the process. And with this, you definitely only want to do it once a month because it is more harsh on the skin. You want to give your skin time to heal and that collagen to produce before you go back in and like make more abrasions. You want to make sure you're all healed up. So once a month for this, probably twice a month for the Dermaroller. So after I do my forehead, I'll sanitize it with like some toner or something, and then I'll put all my serums on. And within probably like a week, I can definitely see that my forehead wrinkles are more plump and less visible. And the first time I did it, I was just blown away because I'm like, they look so much better. I don't understand how, because the Dermastamp didn't really give me those results on my forehead. Like I said, it helped in other areas, but not as much on my forehead. So I was really impressed with this, and I want to keep it like really clean, so I sanitize it all the time every time I use it, and I feel like I've used it a handful of times now, and it's still very sharp, and it still gives me the results that I'm looking for. So I think as long as you take care of these instruments, like they can last you a little while, and you'll start to notice when they get dull, and then it's just time to replace them. But I definitely think that if you have deep wrinkles, this would be the device for you.
Anything with precision. So if you have a wrinkle that's noticeable from like beginning to end where you can see where you need to put it, I think that's when you would use the Dermastamp.
Yeah, and it's also good for scars. If you're someone that has like acne scars here and there, this would be great for you because the collagen helps plump those scars and diminish them a little bit. So I haven't really tried it on any of my scars because I don't really know if I have any, but I heard that it works really well for that, and since it's so precise, you would just need to stamp it like once. Another thing that this helps with is headaches, at least for me personally. I get really bad tension headaches, and when I'm using this on my forehead, I can just feel the pressure being released, it's so instantaneous that it's almost weird, but it just helps so much to relieve the pressure that's like all up in my forehead and in my sinuses. So if you get headaches, this would help with that too. I don't think you should use it for headaches, but it does help if that's something you struggle with as well.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any more questions on Dermarolling or Dermastamping, just leave them down below and we'll be sure to answer.
Yes, and as always, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below.